Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSI DFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm Mr. Mike 31. Thank you for still watching this late in the season. We only have a couple weeks to go. Should be exciting to continue on the playoffs. Sorry I didn't get to Xfinity. It's just been way too busy. Next week, I'm actually I most likely get the cup one out. I don't know about other videos because when my father passed away back in June, we didn't have a chance to go to his hometown, spread his ashes. So I'm getting family together, and we're going to do that next weekend. So that's happening Saturday. So by Saturday night, I should be home and should be able to do it. But I don't know about doing videos for the other um, races there. Today is a great day on FSI. If you want to go to the description of the video, you can go into the there and there's the link for our website where if you want to go in and play all the sports, we got soccer going on, we got NFL football, we did NFL video last night. We got the Dublin game, we've got Sunday night football, last day of Major League Baseball. So for $6 you can play it all. um, so as for this race, Kansas, it's a high speed intermediate track. Usually looking at probably about two dominators here. Wouldn't be uncommon to have like one, but for the most races, it's been two dominators. And for the most races, like somebody's won like within like the top 10 for most of them. So that's where you want to look for your build, but some great place differential here. They're bringing in a new softer right side tire to try to get some more fall off to make it a little bit more competitive. So we'll see how that plays out also. So starting up top, Briscoe with another pole. He does amazing qualifying there. I think he's more of a GPP play because sometimes he just falls back. And the Toyotas weren't bad here. I like the Hendricks cars a lot better. And I just think there's a lot of other people that could go up there and potentially dominate. So GPP or maybe a FanDuel play. I think he'll have a good finish. He is just above the cut line there. That's why he's in orange. And that's what the color coding there is. The blue ones have won, so Blaney's moving on and in. You have like Byron and Larson, it's like 40 plus, so that's why I think they're pretty good there with two races to go. You have Bell, Hamlin, and Logano about 20 some plus, so they're should be in the good range. But then Elliott and Briscoe are only 14 and 12 to the good. And then you have Chastain negative 12, Cindric negative 19, which is probably a reason, but Reddick and Wallace need to have two really solid races or maybe win one to advance to the next round. So Briscoe could be looking for the win here, could be looking for points. Hamlin again is in the higher of the safe range. I think he'll be good. I think this is a great track for him to go out there and to be the dominator. So we'll see how that plays out. Larson, I think, will be super popular and super highly owned, but I just can't do it in cash anymore. I'm tired of. I take that back. I might split it and run a cash line with Hamlin and then a cash line with Larson as like my primary dominators. And in cash, if you want to just go one dom and then try to capture a place differential, because there's a lot of really good mid range to high range like place differential, then go for that. So that's where I think I might split cash there, but I'm definitely leaning Hamlin or Bell over Larson. Elliott, I think is a quiet upside, or actually a dominator here. The Hendricks cars were good, 12th and 10 lap average, but if you take some like of the other factors out between different groups and like some things, I think that he looked a lot better than 12th, more like closer to top 10. Usually has pretty good fall off here, and again, is he going to be going for points over the win? I don't know. I think still like he's decent on road courses, which I believe they have the Roval up next as the cutoff race next week. So I don't think he's too worried that he needs to get points here because next week is just going to be kind of go through the motions and survive in advance. So I think that he's okay in cash here if you want to make him your primary dominator or the second dom you're using. Bell, I really like here also. It's gonna be kind of hard to get like Blaney, who you almost have to play starting dead last as like almost a free square with a ton of place differential. Um, that through a really good race could get up here and lead and win the race. So and he's playing with house money too because he already has the win, so he doesn't have to go for points or follow like other people's strategy. He can just do what he needs to win the race. And we've seen him start at the back before and make it up through the field and be competitive and be there at the end because these cup races are much longer than Xfinity and Truck where you don't have as many laps to make that happen. So it's going to be hard, and I think Elliot's price is a good one to mix in there with your Dom, or if you're trying to get like Logano and Blaney in there, it makes sense for Elliot to be one of your hopeful dominators up top because it saves you some money. Really like Bell here too. Um, Price break off of like Hamlin and Larson. Hocevar is up there. I was thinking of fade, but he's aggressive and been able to hold the line. Like when he starts up this high, like he at least top 15, sometimes top 10s. So I think he's fine there. Bubba, I think he'll make the other upside dominator. He usually races pretty well here, 15th and 10 lap average, and I think he's got some solid upside. Gibbs, I just think that I mean, I thought about Hamlin and I thought about the revenge factor. If you didn't watch last week's race, Gibbs was racing Bell and Hamlin really hard, and they're playoff drivers, and he's not. And they're just like, come on, give us a break. So Hamlin, like, kind of taps Gibbs and sends him into the wall. And then all of them like are pretending everything's okay. Joe Gibbs is not getting involved, but I don't know, maybe behind the scenes he pulled his grandson aside and said, "Look, I've got three drivers trying to win a championship here, and don't get in the way. Your time will come." But if he said nothing, then I could see Gibbs with sometimes his lack of maturity going out there and still racing them hard, or I don't think he intentionally wreck them, but he might put them in a situation where they get wrecked, but I think cooler heads will prevail and they'll be fine here. But just keep your eye on that. Chastain, I think we'll go for points here to try to get into the next round, although he's got a lot of ground to make up. So maybe the over aggressiveness, it makes it feel like more of a GPP play. Eric Jones, like, been impressed with the speed recently, 10 lap average. I thought about making him a 100K driver, but he's starting a little bit too far forward for that. It still feels kind of risky. I was going to put a fade, but like GPP, let's see what happens. If you're mass multi-entering, have them in like 5% or less of your lineups. Byron, a really good play here, also in a good spot for the playoffs. And I think that, if you're starting a little bit far forward, I'd probably give him the purple dominator tag. But I think that he can get up there and potentially do it. I mean, he's going to kind of need to with the 10K price tag. And even though like he didn't have like fall in the top 15 or top 20 and 10 lap average, if you look at it overall, like he was up there with some of the better drivers with fall off. So I'm fine with him. Reddick, GPP here also, again, like I don't know the desperation what that's going to bring. So I just like better drivers in this price range. Barry, GPP here also. I'd like if you started a little bit further down. I think with some of the drivers with the place differential in the back are getting ahead of him. I think he top 20s, but I don't know if he's going to finish in the top 15 or 13th or better. Gregson, I do feel a little bit better about just based on his aggressiveness and like the speed I saw in practice there. So that's why he's a 100K driver. Busher is always a solid one on tire wear tracks. I mean, it's not high tire wear track, but I think he'll be able to manage the right side if they do become a factor and give some fall off. And obviously his 10 lap average looked good. He was in the top 10. I think he could stay in the top 15, maybe get up to the lower top 10. So it's solid cash play there. Austin Dillon, almost he probably should be a fade here, but I'm just gonna leave him as GPP. Bowman is not in there, but I think he goes back to kind of like the blue collar, just goes out there and gets the job done. 78 is good. It wasn't a top 20, but I had no concerns about his practice speed and fall off. I think he'll be fine. Stenhouse starting way too far forward here. I think he's going to fall back as a fade. Creason, good on tire wear. I think he's a solid cash play. He's been throughout the playoffs and throughout the year, so it just seems to have the floor you need at a fair price. Allmendinger's $300 cheaper. He was really good in practice, so he's one that I think is a great cash fill in for you. Has a solid floor. McDowell not playing. He had an unapproved adjustment, lost his crew chief, and has to do a stop and go penalty. So he's going to probably lose a lap early. And nothing really stuck out for him. Haley, I think, has some upside just looking at his practice time. So 5,300, I think he's good for the 100K. Gillian kind of bounces back here. Like he's had a couple rough weeks, but I think this is a decent track for him. I wish he was starting farther on down in the 30s. That's why he's a GPP over a cash play. But he did have some speed in practice, so he should be okay. Shane Van Gisbergen is the same issue as McDowell, unapproved adjustment, pass through penalty, not a road course. So I'll play him next week when he'll be like 12,000. It'll be twice as much. You want to make a bet on that? It'll probably be twice as expensive next week for the road course as he is for this one. And this isn't by any means a buy low. Like he specializes in road courses. There's nothing like road course principles that apply to this track. So um, I wouldn't play him. Jenner Nemechek, again, Legacy has had some speed recently. It looked a little disappointing last week, but the weeks before that have been solid. He's had a lot of top tens too this year, like kind of quietly. So I think he's solid cash play. Cindric, same thing. Needs to try to get up there and try to win this race or next week to be able to advance. So a lot of work to do, a lot of great opportunity for place differential, and projection has them at over 5x, which I love. Custer's just kind of there. I mean, he has the speed in practice, but I just don't trust it too much overall on long runs. So I think the speed that we saw was more short runs. So I'm not super um, enamored in playing him. I think that you have so many better plays. Like Ty Dillon, you save like $200. I think is a much better play there. Zane Smith, I'm going to put a prime tag on him. He's number one in 10 lap average in the practice. It's way too cheap for his current form and the ability he has. So lock him in. Kyle Busch is always a GPP play. Nothing, I don't really need to say any more there. If he wins the race, great. But I don't have the fear of missing out on him anymore. General Suarez, his price has really dropped. He's auditioning for a job. He should be good here. He solid cash play. Kozlowski, I think, just didn't have a really good qualifying lap. Looked good in practice, and with the tongue wear and does the factor, he's good for that. So I'm fine with him being a prime play. And if Riley Herbst, I think his 100K 1-2 has some upside here. Ty Dillon, I think you can play in cash. He was 11th in 10 lap average, so I just didn't qualify well, and it just didn't have short run speed. But I think he had some long run speed. And if you're trying to go up there and get like more studs, then I'm fine if you take the prime off of Keselowski and put it on Dillon if you need to save like almost 3 grand there to get up there, then I'm fine with that. If you skip Keselowski, I really like Keselowski. Um, but if he doesn't work in your build, if you're trying to get more Doms up there or you're trying to get Logano in, then I'm fine with that. Where is the GPP? Probably should be a fade, but hasn't been horrible recently, and sometimes through attrition does pretty well. Just goes out there and just finishes the race, which is what we're looking for. Logano's a cash. I don't want to put a prime on him because he, even though his crew chief is really good, there's been races where he's been very pedestrian. So like he's so boomer bust. Um, I think when he's great, he's great, and when he's not, he's not Kyle Busch. But it just it's average and it's not enough at 92 to get the place differential I feel I need. I think he's solid cash, but I don't feel he's like a lock like Blaney is for prime play. Yaley fade. Blaney just had a tire issue in practice, going to the backup car, I believe, but the car should be fine. They'll get the same setup on it. He'll be out there. He'll be fast, and he'll be up there in the top 15, top 10. Ton of place differential points. You got to kind of eat this chalk and lock it in. So that's what we got for you. If you have any questions, put them chat below. Hit me with my 31 on Twitter/X. If you want more information to FSide DFS, like I said, you can go to the description there and get into our Discord for free. There's a NASCAR pool room that's free. So if I don't do videos, I give information out in there to try to help you build your lineups. And if these videos help us back, like, subscribe to your channel, and share with friends. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest, and I'll see you next time.